Yes, people are greedy. Start there, because it usually gets thrown at me like a checkmate, and it is not one. Here is the part I will not argue with. Human beings are self-interested. Many are power-hungry. Some are cruel. Hand them a stateless world and the strong will reach for whatever the weak have got. That is not a caricature of the objection. That is the objection at full strength. And it is probably the most honest doubt you have about everything I say on this channel. Anarcho-capitalism, the line goes, is a beautiful idea for a species we are not. It assumes angels. We are not angels. I agree. Now watch what that actually proves. Let me make the objection sharper than the person throwing it usually bothers to, because the weak version is the one that usually gets answered. The serious form is not, there would be crime. Of course there would be crime. The serious form is about restraint. A market runs on people keeping contracts, respecting property, and not simply taking when taking is easier. Remove the one institution built to force that restraint, and you are trusting the greediest people in society to hold back, voluntarily. That is the unrealistic charge with its teeth in. It works on paper for good people. Real people will eat it alive. If that is what you think, you are not being cynical. You are being careful. Good. So I will not do the thing you are bracing for. I am not going to tell you people are secretly good, that the state corrupted an innocent species, that we would all link arms and cooperate the moment the badges came off. Rothbard would not tell you that either. In Society Without a State, in 1978, he flatly refused the idea that anarchism needs a new, improved human. His words, "Mankind is a mixture of good and evil." I will take the darker reading, if anything. Assume people are exactly as grasping as you fear. I want to build for that human, not a nicer one. Fine. Then the only question left is where you put the greedy ones. Because the state is not a machine run by better beings. It is those same greedy, power-hungry humans, the exact ones you just warned me about, handed a monopoly on force and told it is legitimate. Rothbard took the cleanest form of this from F.A. Harper. If men are so evil they must be ruled, the ruler is one of those evil men, now holding total power over everyone else. You have not solved human evil. You have concentrated it and handed it a crown. Rothbard's own words, from Power and Market, 1970. The mixture of good and evil in human nature provides its own particular argument for the libertarian, because the state is a ready, swift channel for the exercise of evil, a channel no private person is allowed. You have heard half of this before, and it is almost always misquoted. If men were angels, no government would be necessary. That line is not Rothbard. It is James Madison, Federalist, 51, 1788, a man arguing for government, not against it. But read his whole sentence. Government, Madison says, is the greatest of all reflections on human nature. You must first enable it to control the governed, and in the next place, oblige it to control itself. The first part is easy. The second part is the one no state has ever managed. Robert Higgs put the consequence plainly in 2007. The most vicious people tend to gain control of the state, and then they wield its engines of destruction, far more harm than they could ever have done outside it. There is a second half, and it is not about morality at all. Greed in a market is not neutralized. It is redirected. Adam Smith saw it in 1776. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard to their own interest. The baker is not kind to you. He is greedy. And the only route his greed has to your wallet is bread you actually want, cheaper than the baker across the street. Run the exploiter's own logic. A boss who wants to squeeze you still cannot pay less than the next employer would. Or you walk. Competition is what disciplines the greedy. Take away their exit. Give one agency all the guns. and that discipline is simply gone. Here is the seam in my own argument, and I want you to push on it. I mean this straight, not as a setup. Everything I just said leans on competition. Greed serves you only for as long as the greedy can lose you. So the honest attack on me is not people are bad. I granted that. We agree. The real attack is, show me competition holds. Show me a market and force does not simply congeal into one winner holding the guns, which is a state, again, in a different coat. If you have that argument, a mechanism where concentrated force behaves better than rivals who can be fired, I would genuinely like to read it. Not as a dare. Send it to me, and I owe you the places the flip does not save me. 1. A market does not make greed harmless. It channels it, and channels can clog. Firms collude. Competition fails. A company that captures a market holds real power, and I will not wave that away. The flip narrows the danger. It does not delete it. 2. The utopian charge keeps a residue I cannot spend. No one has run this at national scale. So everything I have told you is an argument about which way human flaw pushes, not a finished country I can point at and say, look, it landed well. I am reasoning about incentives, not showing you a result. Hold both of those against me. They are fair. So here is where I land, and notice that it is not optimism about people. It is the opposite. The greedier you believe human beings are, the less you should want any single one of them holding a monopoly on force. If people cannot be trusted with power, the answer is not to pile all the power in one place and pray a good soul wanders in to hold it. It is to make sure no one holds it for long, and everyone keeps the right to walk away. Human greed is not the case for the state. Read honestly, all the way down, it is the strongest case against it. I'm Anarcho Voice.